And welcome back to Lantern Corps. Today's Lantern Corps suggestion comes to us from Super Kami Guru P. I believe it's PJ or something like that. Super Kami Guru, I remember that. Who asked the question, "What is the Lantern Corps of Spear and Fang?" from Aaron Taranowski's. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Or Darren Aronofsky's. There we go. Darren Aronofsky's Primal. Same guy who did Samurai Jack. I only saw this series in like bits. I never watched it from beginning to end, although I do know the end of it. Uh, I mean, I liked what I saw. I just really never got around to watching it. That's all it was. That was really all what it came down to. So, do these guys first off like work in tandem? Are they sharing a ring, or are their rings connected? Honestly, because of the way their story arc goes, yeah, I think their rings overall are connected. And very quickly, I think we can all like figure out what the rings they don't qualify for. They're certainly not gold lanterns. They're also not lanterns of life, despite the fact both have mothered slash fathered children, and continue to find new life and new ways to live. They are not white lanterns. I also don't think they really shame lanterns. They're not ultraviolet lanterns. There's not like a lot of shame they really carry with them per se. At least not that I would define. So what do we have to work with beyond that? Well, I would say red is definitely the Lantern Corps they start out at, because these two are driven by rage over the loss of both their respective families and offspring. Their partner, their children, respectively, they are just driven for rage and survival, and eventually, get payback on the thing that did it. And then their continued travels where they just keep having to fight multiple damn things. Whatever creature of the day it is, they're fighting it, and the whole world keeps trying to kill them. So for the longest time, yeah, I'd say rage would have been the killer cut answer, and the story you're done. But as time progresses, their story starts to change. Now, to get a couple more out of the way, they're not avarice lanterns. Neither of them are doing this for greed and just want, and it's like I must have more. No, it's survival. That's clear cut survival. That's all that is. Beyond that, I also don't think they qualify for Black Lanterns, with the caveat that at the end of the series, obviously Spear would be a Black Lantern as he is dead. And they have both killed a lot of not just people, just things in general. But I don't know if they would be really good representations of Black Lanterns. They're not individuals who revel in death and just like enjoy it and like just enjoy killing. No, they're doing it out of survival. That's all it is. So I wouldn't use Black Lanterns as a good barometer for them. Nor would I say compassion, because both of them are capable of compassion. There you go. You either need to be devoid, or I would be your dominant emotion. They're neither, so compassion's out of the question. A boring one to kind of say would be that the Green Lanterns are an option, but it's true. I mean, they have to overcome so much. The sheer willpower that Spear alone has, then Fang coming along with him, is ridiculous. To just go through everything they had, overcome the great fear that clearly they felt at points, and be where they are at the end of the series, get to both the end of their respective stories. It's impressive to say the least. So Green has to be in the conversation. Beyond that, though, there's only a couple other Lantern cards to talk about. One is Hope. I don't know if Hope really works. I mean, yes, Spear ultimately learned and gained a new faith, but I don't think that really counts. Like, I don't know if he ever held out hope he would find a new, partner, or find love or a new home again. He was just trying to survive. I don't think he ever was holding out hope for that. So even if he did have hope, I would not call it his dominant trait. Same with Fang. The Yellow Lanterns of Fear is a weird one. You would think Spear and Fang would be notoriously feared, but No, actually, they're not. In fact, a lot of people like to fuck with both of them quite a bit. I remember them both being enslaved for a while. Like, they're, despite the fact they're a very potent duo and have killed a lot of individuals, they're not feared. They don't strike fear. I mean, Fang certainly can for less warrior types and all that, but I really wouldn't call that qualifier for it to be a fear lantern. So, yeah, I really wouldn't have used fear as a qualifier on that. That being said, there is the last one to talk about here, and that's love. And obviously, as I have it listed here, love, I think, is an option because when you think about the combination of getting revenge for someone or something or whatever, especially when it comes to the beginning of the series where they both lost their families, to quote Paul Bettany's vision in WandaVision, what is grief if not love persevering? All that anger and rage came from a place of love. I think I've said this before when it comes to love lanterns, so it's not impossible to equate love and rage together. Rage certainly would have dominated them in the beginning, though. That is a given. If those two lantern rings had come down, it would have been the rage lantern, no doubt about it. But get near the end of the series, especially with Spear and how I believe it's Mira was their name, especially with Mira, I think love would have actually worked for him at that point. Fang maybe not so much, but definitely Spear. That said, the boring answer I think is still probably the better answer. Will ultimately would have probably worked for both of them. But with the caveat that I think Will still would predominantly be Fang's Lantern Corps, I think there is a solid secondary option for Love in Spear. Now, that being said, again, at the beginning, they would have been Red Lanterns, 100%. And there's even an argument you can be making for some Black Lantern action, at least on Spear's front, because he is dead at the end of the series. Spoilers if you haven't watched it. It's only been a couple of years now since it ended. But yeah, those would be the options I would give for a Lantern Corps, as for the rest of them, like the least likely to most least likely or whatever you want to call it, I'd go, I don't know, probably fear, then maybe hope. Oh man, these ones are tough this time around. Uh, then maybe compassion, and then the others are just so non-existent. Anyway, I digress. Thanks for watching. See you later.